Hello everyone, I am Jock Smuts from PJH Technologies, and I'm here to talk about an integration we developed called PJH HeatHawk. And now this is an integration for Milestone XProtect VMS and fire alarm panels. And our integration allows those two systems to talk to each other. And this will be a demonstration of exactly what that looks like. Now, if you don't know Milestone XProtect yet, what you need to know, it is a video management system. It allows you to see and manage cameras and video recordings on a site. That is the basic use of it, but it is much more powerful than that. It comes with a lot of additional functionality. For example, it has an alarm manager, which allows you to see all of the alarms that has been triggered. It has an incident management system, and it is an open platform, which means you are able to buy and develop your own custom plugins that does whatever functionality you want. Now, this is where we come in. We developed one of those plugins, and we will show how this works. So in this case, we're just seeing the two cameras there, but I want to, Peter, can you please switch to the HeatHawk view? Now on the mouse there is Peter Peiser, our CTO. He's the technical wizard behind a lot of this. So here you can see a map that we have set up showing 5 zones on a fire panel. Now this is a simulated Zyton ZP2 panel. And we will simulate certain fire alarms to show you what it looks like in Milestone XProtect. So first off, Peter, can you please simulate a Zone 1 fire alarm? So this is a Modbus simulation. This is the protocol we use to talk to Zyton ZP2, but we support other fire panels as well. So as you can see there, the moment the alarm was triggered, you immediately get a pop-up. This pop-up is not something you can ignore. If you are running the software in your central control room or on any computer, this pop-up will appear and show you there is a fire alarm, there's something serious you need to investigate. Now, we've associated 2 cameras, but you can associate up to 4 cameras to each zone. And in this case, we are showing the live view and then the incident playback view at the time. Now, the camera wasn't recording at that time, which is why it's showing this after recordings. But if the camera was recording, you would see a live view. We'll see that in a minute. But now that we've seen the pop-up and we are investigating, we can acknowledge the alarm. And now you can see on the map where this sensor is, where this zone is, where a fire alarm has been triggered. That means you can very easily go investigate at that spot. It gives you a good situational awareness of your site. But if there's more than one, maybe you have multiple maps, we can give you a list. And this comes with the plugin. Can you go to the Fire tab, please? So this is a list of all of the active fire alarms on your fire alarm panel. And there you can see the live view and the recorded view at the time of the incident. But once we've investigated, we've seen, okay, there is no fire, it's a false alarm, or everything has been handled properly, then we can just close all of the alarms from this, or one by one from this panel. So can you please close it? So now the alarms have been closed. But that doesn't mean that the record is no longer available. You can go into the alarm manager because our plugin works with the Milestone XProtect alarm system. In the alarm manager, you can still see a list of all of your alarms that has gone. So let's say, for example, I want to see all of the fire alarms that have gone off and the tickets that have been closed. So as you can see there, we've triggered 5 alarms, and it shows the incident playback view for that alarm every time that it's been triggered. That means it's very easy to audit the system. It's very easy to see, oh, look, it's zone 1 every time. Maybe zone 1 has a faulty sensor or something is wrong there. And you can easily improve your system to make sure that things are handled effectively, both in the equipment side as well as your staff, or your staff handling things correctly. But in this case, we're just going to clear filter and go back to the map. So we have cleared the alarm, but the map still shows that fire alarm going off. And that is because on the fire panel, that alarm has not been silenced. These are two separate systems. And from Milestone XProtect, you can monitor the fire panel, but by default, you cannot control it. We'll get to that a bit later. So now we're going to go to the fire panel and disable that alarm. So now this is the simulation. We're saying, okay, the alarm is no longer going off. You've gone to the fire panel, everything is handled, and that's great. And now the alarm is no longer showing. However, we do more than just alarms. We also do maintenance. So Peter, can you trigger a maintenance alarm on zone 2, please? So as you can see very quickly, the map updates and shows that zone 2 is now orange. It's got a little gear there. That indicates there's something wrong there. It's not an alarm, but you may need to investigate. And because this is on the map, it shows very clearly where it is, and you can go investigate and clear it up and say, oh, maybe there's just a cable that came loose, or maybe the equipment has something faulty with it, and you can fix it. But in this case, we're going to now, in the simulation, clear it up again and say, no, we're fixing that. We've now, let's say, replaced the sensor, and now everything is working as intended. Now we've seen what this looks like in action, and now we're going to show you just how the installation works. It's fairly easy and quick. So first off, the physical installation. The physical installation is primarily a network connection, like a network cable, between the Milestone XProtect server and your fire panel interface. Now, different fire panels have different requirements. With some, you can just plug a network cable directly in. Others requires a Modbus conversion unit of some kind. A field server is often used for that. In all cases, a network cable is the main thing that you need to connect the fire panel and the Milestone XProtect server. And once that has been set up properly, then the rest of the configuration is all done in the software in this Milestone XProtect management client that you see here. So we go to the fire interfaces, and you add one interface with an IP address. We've got the IP address there. Then you go to the next one. You add fire panels to your interface, because you can have one interface with many panels. The network ID you have to specify. And then for each fire panel, you have to add the zones. So you go to the zones. We've got 5 zones there. So can you add a 6th zone, please? And you have to give it the zone number, but you can name it whatever you want. And then you can associate up to 4 alarms with each zone. So we're going to do the driveway again. And the first one is showing the incident playback view, meaning it shows a playback view at the time of the incident. And the other one is a live view, so that you can immediately see what's going on at that moment. That's why the 2 cameras popped up at the same time. Yeah, this setup has been done now, it's been saved. But you can also do this via CSV import. Now, if you have a very large site, if you have multiple sensors, it might be easier to use this feature that we have, which allows you to export a sample CSV, which you can open with any spreadsheet program like Microsoft Excel. And then you can edit the spreadsheet yourself and import it using this button in order to make sure that, that you have the list of all of the cameras and things configured properly. Further, you see so there's a little option there at the bottom, fire alarm cause pop-up windows to appear. If you don't want the pop-up system, you don't have to have it there, but by default, it is on. And finally, licensing. So you'll see here, it says valid trial license for 5 devices. So if you want to test out this software, it's very easy. You just download it from our licensing portal, where you will also get your site ID. You put it in there and get online license retrieval. It will automatically register and give you a 30-day free trial. And that way you can test out the system and just see if it works for you without a massive commitment. And then we also have the manual licensing. So if you do not have an internet connection, maybe because you run an air-gapped system, which is good for enhanced security, then you just need to download a license request file, send it to us, we'll activate it and send you back the license file, and then you can activate it that way. That way, you don't need to connect your system to the internet. But now that we've done the setup, this is everything you need to do in the management client. As you can see, it's very simple. Now we go back to this view, which is the XProtect Smart Client, and you click on Setup. Now, this map is something we've set up before, but in order to add the map, all you need to do is you see at the bottom left, there is a map icon, and you drag that in and you specify an image. So you will have to get your own map of your site, or maybe a satellite photo or a map that you draw, whatever your preference is. You put the image in and then you drag in the specific elements. Now the elements we need is, as you can see there, the panel and the zones. So we just added zone number 6. So there's zone number 6. Can you add that in, please? So it's all the way out the right. Maybe put it in the hallway, a bit to the left. And there it's done. Press setup again. And it's been set up. And so now, as soon as zone 6 has a maintenance or a fire alarm, it will appear just as before in the map, as well as in the lists and the alarm manager. And that is everything you need to do to set up the system and make it work. Finally, I want to talk about the rule engine and controlling this system. So first off, this plugin is rule engine compatible. And now the Milestone rule engine allows you to automate systems. You can, for example, say, if a fire alarm is triggered of any kind, send an email to the following addresses. That is easy to set up. You can also say, if a fire alarm is triggered and you have an access control system that is integrated with Milestone XProtect, then open certain doors or unlock certain doors whilst there is a fire alarm. And there's all kinds of ways in which you can automate your system. But by default, we do not allow control of the fire alarm panel. Now, this is for fire safety reasons, and it also depends on which country you are in, because fire laws differ, and it depends on the fire panel itself. Certain panels do not allow any control, other panels allow limited control, but not full control. You know, it differs a lot. If you want any sort of control over your system, please speak to us. We can do it. And how it works is fairly easily. If you want to have any control of a system that's on the map, you just right-click on it and you change a setting if that control is enabled. But if you do want that control, you speak to us and we will customize it to your needs, and we will work with you to make sure that it is fire safe and compliant with the laws in your country. I hope you can see how powerful this system is in ensuring that you have a good situational awareness of the safety and security on your site. If you have any questions, please contact us at connect@pjhtechnologies.com or go to our website, pjhtechnologies.com. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.